In this video, I'm going to help you understand whether the Aqara TVoC sensor is something you might consider adding to your Apple Homekit home. Hey guys, Chris Young here from HomeKit Geek, the channel we bring you smart home content focusing on the Apple HomeKit ecosystem. In this video, we're going to be looking at the Aqara TVoC sensor, or volatile organic compound sensor. So before we get started, I do want to say thank you very much to Aqara for providing me with one of the sensors that I used in this video. I actually went out and bought another couple of my own for some additional testing. But again, you guys do deserve to know where this stuff comes from in case you think it makes a difference. Before we get started, let's talk about what a volatile organic compound actually is. And what it is a gas, it's a substance, a chemical that evaporates, that vaporizes at room temperature. And these can come from a whole bunch of different places, like sprays, paints, furniture, plastics, toys, all of these kinds of things can put off volatile organic compounds. So VOCs are an absolute natural part of the process of things breaking down over time. They come from wood, for instance, and depending on the time of year and the temperature, the humidity, those kinds of things, you can have a process known as offgassing, where more of these get released into your rooms and therefore into the air that you're breathing. And according to the World Health Organization, these gases can go from mildly irritating to really, really not good for you. So it's good to know that there's something in the air so you can do something about it. So the Aqara TVoC sensor is actually one of the least expensive sensors on the market that does this, that works with Apple HomeKit today. Although there are other sensors on the market that do this and are compatible with Apple HomeKit, like the Eve Room or Kytera laser eggs, this is definitely one of the least expensive versions out there, and it is the only Zigbee version of this kind of a sensor on the market right now. The other nice thing about this sensor is it's got this really nice, beautiful Eink display that allows you to see what's going on in your air across the room. So you can put this anywhere within Zigbee range and still be able to have an idea of what's going on. And because of the combination of the Eink display as well as the Zigbee radio, it's very low power, which means the batteries are going to last about a year, at least according to their website. So it's great that we can have a sensor like this that does volatile organic compounds as well as temperature and humidity, but what can we actually do with it in Apple HomeKit once we've got it? This is where the power of HomeKit really shines through, is out of the three major ecosystems being Google, Amazon, and Apple, this is really the only one where you can trigger actions based on air quality events. So you can put some intelligent things in here, for instance, like when the volatile organic compounds are high or the air quality is bad, turn a light on so you can go open a window. Or you can say when the VOCs are high, turn on a smart plug to turn on a fan. Or if you've really invested in the SmartKit ecosystem, you could take advantage of things like the air purifiers, like the SmartMe or the VOCalink or even the Sensible. So there's a lot of great things about this particular device, but there's a couple of drawbacks as well, or potential drawbacks, depending on what you've already got in your HomeKit setup. If you happen to already have an Aqara hub, then this is a really easy purchase. You just connect it to your existing hub, like the M2, for instance, and that's it. It's now exposed to Apple HomeKit. You can start building automations. On the other hand, if you don't already have any of the Aqara products, then you are going to have to invest in a hub like the G2H Camera hub or the M2 to be able to connect and then expose this into your Apple HomeKit for automations. Now, as I pointed out, this is the least expensive HomeKit volatile organic compound sensor on the market right now that I'm aware of, and sometimes you get what you pay for. So in my home, I had a couple of these. The first generation Eve Room, which this does have a TVoC sensor in it as well. But as you can see, it's kind of big, kind of chunky, and there is no display on it. And after running this on batteries for years, Bluetooth, fighting with all of those things, I wanted to invest in something that A, had a display, and B, had a more reliable technology than Bluetooth, moving to something like Zigbee. So in addition to the review unit that Aqara provided me, I bought a couple more of these units, and that's where I found something interesting. So if you look at the picture on the screen right now, these sensors were all side by side, but as you can see, the readings don't line up. So of the four here, you've got three of the Aqara TVoC sensors, as well as an Eve Room Gen 2. And as you can see, the humidity, the temperature, all of those are kind of a little bit all over the place. And that's just something to be aware of, that this is really not going to be a kind of a laboratory grade perfect sensor. What it's going to do, though, is give you more insight into what's going on in your house, what's going on in your rooms, and allow you to notify yourself with lights when you should open a window, or turn on a fan or an air purifier automatically. So as long as you know what you're getting into, this is actually a really great product and a lot of value for the price point. But then again, realize you're not going to be using this to run experiments off of, because as you can see, the sensors, even amongst themselves, aren't really that accurate. So for some people, I completely respect how the accuracy of the sensors may make this a bad purchase for you. But when I compare this to the rest of the devices in this particular part of the market, in the consumer space, it's about as accurate as anything else that I've seen. Which is to say, it's as good as anything else in the consumer space of the market right now, and it's good enough to run the automations that I'm looking for to make my house just a little bit smarter. Is it good enough for you? I'll leave you to decide that. And with that, that brings us to the end of this review. Tell me what you guys think. Is there anything I missed there? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Did you pick one up? What are you doing with your Aqara VOC sensors or other air quality sensors? I'd love to hear that. Put that in the comments below, and looking forward to hearing from you soon. And right about now, here or here, YouTube should be showing you a video they think you might be interested in watching next.